Hi guys, my name is Karthik and I am from ExecuteAutomation.com and welcome to another video from ExecuteAutomation on Selenium 4. We have been talking about Selenium 4 for quite a long time, and as you know that from Selenium 4, I think like this is the video which I released in Selenium 4 almost like a couple of years before. You see it's in 2019 October and it is 2021 October, so we're talking about like 2 years already. So it's been 2 years. We talked about Selenium 4 and we talked about Selenium 4 changes bit by bit, and now Selenium 4 is fully released over here, so it's like full version available for us right now. And I just want to touch base again some of the changes which has happened in Selenium 4 recently, BIDI library, and I will talk about what that really means. So if you go to the documentation of Selenium 4 and if you go to the WebDriver and if you go to the BIDI APIs over here, this is one of the things which is very important to understand in Selenium 4 itself. Basically this is like a bidirectional protocol which has been implemented by WebDriver team, and if you see over here, it is a specification available in W3C, still in draft, not accepted yet, but this draft actually tells you how you can use the bidirectional protocol on the WebDriver. And the bidirectional protocol helps you to basically pretty much see the best available functionality to get the browser details about your website and stuff, pretty much like how you can get its APIs and console logs and stuff. Those things are going to be pretty awesome if this BIDI protocol is going to be available for you. You can see there are a lot of guidelines which has been defined, and this is something that all the browser vendors should be using pretty soon, but it is still in draft state, not accepted yet. But once it is out, it's going to be awesome. But at the moment, in order to have that kind of functionality or that level of functionality, the only way we can achieve is using the Chrome DevTool protocol. And this is what we are going to be discussing. And we have already discussed about this Chrome DevTool protocol in Selenium 4 quite a lot of time, and we'll see how it actually works. I mean, it has improved a lot. You can see that this code is something which I really like, because this way you could see that it is going to perform an authentication for you in much simpler fashion. All you're going to do is you're going to give a website domain name, and then you give the username and password. If that is a basic authentication the site is looking for, then it's going to be automatically entering that for you, and it's going to perform those operations for you. Similarly, they have given some other examples, and we'll be touching base with few of the examples in this particular discussion. Let's quickly see how we can do all these things. So the first test that I'm going to be showing is probably not going to be the one about the authentication, but I wanted to show you like how we can perform certain operations like hacking a website, for example. So let's say if I have a site, if I wanted to just go into the particular website, intercept the network and change the content of the website and show you what happens if that's going to be the case. I mean, that's something you could do that as well. So I'm going to say the interceptor, network interceptor, and this network interceptor is going to accept the driver, which is nothing but the driver that I have defined before. And then I'm going to use the route.matching, where I'm going to say the HTTP request as true, and you also do me that too if the matching request of rec, which is nothing but the request which I'm going to be doing, where the HTTP response, if you just get one, then set its status to probably 404, something like that. I'm just jeopardizing the website over here. And also set its content as probably like site is being hacked, something like that. So if I just wanted to do some sort of things over here, you can do it. But since the set content is going to accept certain formats, probably something like the contents dot UTF strings, something like this. I could do that as well. Let's cross all of them over here. And now I'm just going to do the driver.get, and I'm going to hack my own website, the ExecuteAutomation.com website. And let's save this and let's try running the test and see what's going to basically happen. So I'm using Selenium 4 at the moment, and we will see if the site loads, what is going to be the result of that particular website. So you can see that the site has been loaded over here, and you can see that it shows me that the site is being hacked. So This is something that you can intercept the network and then you can show that particular stuff over here within your website, which is quite cool. So this is one way that you could do it using the Chrome DevTool protocol. But I think these things are going to be streamlined if you're going to be using the Selenium's BIDI or bidirectional protocol pretty soon. So that is one thing about how you can hack your website or how you can intercept the network and set the contents that you wanted to. And you can also intercept the same thing for the XHR if you really wanted to. Those things are going to be pretty awesome. So that's about this way of doing. And another test that I really wanted to show you about is the authentication part. And in that authentication part, the line of code that I just showed you is very, very awesome. So I can show you an example of how we can actually do it. So if I just open a Chrome, and if I just go to this website, you can see here is asked for the username and password. So once I enter the username as user1 and password as pass1, something like that, it is going to give me this kind of information. That's it. This is like a basic authentication website, and it asks you that nagging username and password thing that you need to be entering. So how do you do that in Selenium 4 much easier? I mean, I have seen these questions coming up from students asking, how do you really do it? Well, that's the answer about the authentication part which I was talking about. All you're going to do is you're going to write a test method, which is going to be something like this. And within this test method, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to driver.get of that particular website. I'm then going to do a predicate where I'm also going to verify if that particular URI has a domain as the domain which I'm looking for. So it's going to be the URI dot, you can see that you can also verify all these kind of things over here. So what is the host that I'm going to be testing? So if my host is pretty much the https://http bin, then I'm pretty good to go. So this is one way that I could able to test my host if it is really matching what I'm looking for. And once I have this, I then need to call the special codes, which is going to perform the authentication for me like this. Like hash authentication, I'm just going to cast with our driver object, and then I'm going to register it in such a way that I wanted to call this UI predicate over here, and I'm also going to perform the username and password entry of these values that I'm going to pass in. So this is basically trying to check if my host, so this host shouldn't be like HTTPS. I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to remove it. And the host should be this, and then enter the username and password for me and check if I could able to perform the get operation here. And then I verify if there is a username, which is going to be the user1 that I'm passing in, right? So I don't require this duplicate get over there. So I'm just going to save this test. And now if I try executing this test over here, you should see that the site should be opened up, and then it's going to verify the host, which is the http bin.org, and it should enter the username and password for me. There we go. And it also did the authentication. That's it. So this makes the simple authentication for me using the Selenium 4. So this is another awesome feature. I think it's pretty good. And other things that we can do in Selenium 4 is like testing the console log entry, which is also quite straightforward. I think we have already discussed that like a couple of years before, where you can get the dev tools of the driver, and then you can create a session, and then you can check if there is a log entry being added. So we can check all those details over here. It is going to give us the log details. For example, if I wanted to get the log information from this particular website, just the GitHub for the Xamarin, so you will see that that particular log information is going to be added if there is any log details available on that particular site. So you can see that this is the log information which is going to come up from that particular website for me like this. So you can read the log information from the console using the get dev tools over here. I think these things will be pretty much serialized using the bidirectional protocol pretty soon, but at the moment these are the hard way that you can go with to get these information in Selenium 4. And the final thing which I'm going to show you about the XHR is going to be using the DevTool protocol. We can also verify if there is any XHR request being sent, and what is the request that is being sent, and what is the type of request being sent, whether it is a post or a GET. And also if I wanted to verify what is the URL of it, then you can use this particular code to do that. For example, within my ExecuteAutomation website, if I wanted to get the matching request and responses, then I can use this code to get the details out of it. I think this is something we discussed like a couple of years before. I'm just trying to reiterate that these are the good things about the Selenium 4, that you can actually do it over here. So you can see that within my website, what are the things that I can actually verify. So it's all going to be listed over here for us. Yeah, so this is pretty cool as well, that you can see all these PNGs or JPEG information or JS file is being used in my website. Everything is being shown over here. So these are the things that we can see is quite good, like a DevTool protocol in Selenium 4. But I think using bidirectional protocol, this might change us as well. So that's it, guys. Once again, thank you very much for watching this video, and you guys have a great day.